Is an elephant.
Hello. All right, we're going to try to get infamous Sylvia in the house. She's in the house. We're going to try to get her in the room. Come on in the room. So we're going to try to get her on in the room. Miss Sylvia, if you can hear me. I think that link works. I know the link works. We're going to try to get in the room because the infamous Sylvia has a YouTube channel, and she is a YouTube blogger. Let me grab her channel link so that I can have it in the room, and so you can go and subscribe to her. I was putting this all together so quickly, so I needed to, I'll get her link in the description box as well before we get off of here. Let me pop this over here. And so this is the link to Miss Sylvia's YouTube channel. So if I do have a mod in the room, that is her link. Sylvia, if that link's not working for you, and Gemini's decided to join us. Babe, you can't do that. Sorry guys. If that link's not working for you, Sylvia, I don't know if you can still hear me or if you're setting it up. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hold on, guys. Let me. God darn it. This thing likes to close out. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. Up, we have our guest. Hello, sister.
Oh! I was trying.
Listen, let me tell you something. So I use Restream instead of StreamYard. And so it is a little different of an interface.
Okay,
so sometimes,
that's why.
yeah, it's not sometimes quite as simple and as easy.
I'm like, even my green screen sucks on here.
Well, let's blow us up a little bit. There.
Okay, that's much better. Yeah, that's much better. It's like I'm in a delayed.
A little bit. I'm echoing a little bit. If you let me see. It might be on my end. Hold on.
What now I need to do?
Okay, wait. Okay, I'm still echoing. Do you have me up on YouTube as well in another screen?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, well there's no echo now. Echo going bye-bye. Well, it's there a little bit, but not too bad. We should be okay. If it's echoing, guys, and let me know.
Want me to put a headphone on? Maybe that's it. Because I'm using my mic.
I don't hear an echo now. A little bit. It's faint. Yeah, if you do have headphones, sis, while you're finding your headphones, I want everybody to know, welcome, hello. You guys know I don't usually just pop up like this, but this was a lot to be said tonight, and I wanted to get out with it. So some of you hopefully are somewhat following some of what's happening in the rest of the world. And a major thing that's happening right now is the federal defamation civil suit that Cardi B brought against blogger Tasha K. This has been, 3-4 years? It's almost 4 years in the making. All of this stuff has been going on. And I'm going to catch people up a little bit on how we got to this place. But the reason why I want to talk about it tonight, and you'll see, is because I feel very strongly, especially with what's been said in the testimony, that we're seeing a very dark, it's perfect.
Okay.
Absolutely perfect. We're seeing somewhat of a dark spiritual force, right? That's at play here, forces. And I feel like it's somewhat of a cautionary tale for us in general to not fall into the trap of greed, ruthlessness, willing to make $1 and willing to be famous at any cost. At the cost of selling your soul, basically. And I'm not trying to be over dramatic, guys, but I'm just saying there's a cost for the love of money. Money is not the root of all evil. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. And we talk about a lot of these different things here on this channel: empaths, narcissists, spiritual battles, all of these things. So I felt it was really important to bring my newfound sister, infamous Sylvia, onto the show, because she's been attending the hearings from not just day one, but from what they call voir dire, which is a jury selection as well. So she's been in the courtroom this entire time. It's not being televised. And quite frankly, there's not a lot of major, I don't even know any major outlets that are even covering this on a day-to-day basis. And so it's just you, Sylvia, Choke No Joke, Dennis Byron, and then you do have someone there from Law 360. But I have been following them on Twitter and they're not posting anything. I'm not sure why they're there because they're not even posting anything.
Well, Dennis is
So
posting.
Dennis is. Law 360, though, is not. I follow them on Twitter. They're not posting anything. So it's just Dennis, Choke No Joke, and Sylvia. And Sylvia is the only sister that we have there that is doing this. And so I wanted to have her here, being a woman of God also and being in tune spiritually. I wanted to have her here to have this discussion. So welcome to the channel.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
How did you get started on this in this YouTube train? You also covered the R. Kelly case. Is that true?
Yes, I did from the beginning.
Wow.
And I've been to all his not just the trial, the hearings in Chicago as well as New York.
Wow. Wow. What's led you to do this? To be on this
Um,
day?
the how the justice system working totally different for us, and how there's injustice even if no matter what side you're on, but being a person of color, I see the differences in how um, the system operate with us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
that's what got you started in on wanting to cover them
yeah,
from our perspective,
yes,
right?
yes.
Right. Being yeah, that's very important. That's very important. And we appreciate everything that you're doing um in covering not only that case, but then covering this case as well. Because I do find it interesting that we have two women of color, whether both are black or not. It's not we two women of color here, and how this is all playing out. And what we're seeing is, I think it's a cautionary tale that all of us could probably either learn from or grow from in some
Yeah,
respect.
yeah. But you know what I wanted to say, as far as
Yeah.
Cardi B is Trinidadian with Dominican. I'm Haitian and Dominican. You see how we look different, but we both black.
Yeah.
So that whole thing of her not being black, it's just that I was raised in New York and I lost my Spanish accent and things like that. But most people don't see me as being trilingual and all that kind of stuff. So because my family speak Creole, which is a broken French, and Spanish, and I only speak English. So
So we do come.
no
I
shade.
think that's a very important uh, point to make too, because that is the consistent theme is, well, she's not black, so why should we care? Or she's not black, so why, you know what I'm saying? Like that somehow then whatever horrible things are said about her. And no, she's not an angel for anybody sitting here thinking that Miss
Hmm.
Lisa just thinks she's an angel. I realize that. I listen, come on now.
Hmm.
But she's still a human being.
Absolutely.
And definitely as African American women, well, as we'll just say women, melanated women.
Well, I'm
We,
African American now since I've been naturalized, so I'm African American now.
well, there you go. Uh, so we and we can dive into that too a little bit, perhaps
Mhm,
if you want to, because what I also see in this is we have skin color, skin intonation, right? Darker, lighter issues. We have uh, uh, us attacking our own instead of uplifting our own, right? The
yeah,
crabs in a barrel kind of mentality as well. All of this kind of comes into play
mhm,
in my point of view in this case and how this really started.
yeah, definitely.
So being there in the courtroom,
Yes.
and being able to feel those energies and being in there, watching this firsthand, how the first couple of days, was it the first 2 days, almost full days, or 3 days were
It's really
all
three
Tasha K,
days.
right? Yeah.
The first 3 days was it was Cardi B's plaintiff side doing the testimonies and examining the witness, but it was Tasha K on the stand for the first 2.5 days, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How what was her demeanor? How did she portray, how did she come off to you? I know you're not on the jury, but how did she come off to you as an observer of all the events as they've played out?
Seeing her in person, she was very. She's not the person that you see, the personality that's on Tasha K. The loud mouth and boisterous person. Definitely not. She's very quiet and marriageable. She was yes, ma'am, no, no, sir, and that type of thing. But then when they
Mhm.
played the video, woof, it was like
Mm.
horrible because you had, the juries, the makeup of the jury was majority, I would say 85% Caucasian. You had one black guy and you had a couple of people of Hispanic or Spanish origin, but the majority is Caucasian. You have two Caucasian male and then six Caucasian women, and then the other, it's like other, you got one
Okay.
African American, but she
Okay.
seemed like she mulatto, and then you have a one black guy. That's it.
Okay.
Hmm. And then that rest Caucasian, mostly female. You only have three male on the whole jury.
On the whole jury.
Hmm.
So at first, Tasha K was very, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, all good. How did her demeanor change once those videos were played? Did it seem like all of a sudden, it was another energy that kind of got turned on within her once the videos started getting played?
She was kind of, I would say, a little combative. Like she was more in defense mode. That she was trying to justify her action in the video. And then
Mm.
sometimes it was like a contradiction. It seemed as if she was perjuring herself because she would say she didn't say that, but in actuality she did because the video played and it she did say it. So
Mm. That's been my as I was listening to you primarily, and then listening to the other gentleman, Choke No Joke and Dennis Byron. Um, it was interesting because the energy that I was getting off of this was one of, at first, like a child or a teenager, right? I've raised 3 kids.
mm-hmm,
So it was kind of like this, your kid at first will kind of deny, right?
mm-hmm.
Until it's kind of in their face. And then all of a sudden, yeah, I did it. Yeah, it is that. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly. That's what you got. Yes. Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Um, did you get the feeling from her, because I don't know how much you know about what she has disclosed about her past and her upbringing. Did you get the feeling that she's like a hurt person? She's still a hurt girl, hurting other people, in this case, and hurting Cardi?
I have a feeling that way. And then she has a lot. Ooh, there's a bug that just dropped on my thing. A weird looking bug. I'm sorry, guys. It's a weird looking bug. Oh,
No.
I don't know what it is. It's I don't know what it
Okay,
is.
okay,
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay. Alright, wait, I'm gonna take her down for a moment while she fights the bug. We'll make sure when she comes back on the camera here, I don't wanna Hello, everyone. So, those of you just joining us, and please share this. We have with us tonight um, infamous Sylvia. I've been putting her channel. Matter of fact, I will pin it to the top right now. Okay. Please go subscribe to her. Let me check in on her.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Okay, she's back. Okay, no problem.
It was the weirdest looking bug.
Well, we took you off. So
It was I mean, I've never seen anything look like it. And how did it come in here? And you know, when it gets a little warm, sometimes weird things just, I don't know where it's at. I just don't want it to come back.
that's okay. I understand. I understand. We're gonna shoo that away because I feel like people know
Sorry.
we're talking about them. Anyway, uh,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. So those of you, I just did pin Sylvia's YouTube channel at the top so of this chat, and this chat will be on a live chat replay. So please do subscribe to infamous Sylvia, her YouTube channel, because she is bringing us day by day coverage and very detailed coverage of the Cardi B, Tasha K federal defamation lawsuit. So
Yes.
we were just talking about did this kind of appear to you be kind of like the hurt girl, or the girl that never got picked, or the girl that was not that popular picking on someone that is popular, like that kind of energy?
Yeah, to me, and I don't know the facts about her. I don't know anything about her background. I only seen a couple of videos from Tasha, and I
Mhm.
really don't know too much about Cardi B either, because
Mhm.
that's not my generation. That's my daughter's generation of music, right? So from what I gather, there's some self hate that I see in Natasha. Even though she tried to portray that she has high self esteem, but there are some
Mhm.
esteem issues there. And she's deflecting it, and it seems like she's um, using Cardi as something that's within her that she's having some issues with. And I don't
Mm.
think it's just about money. I think self image,
Hmm.
because.
See, go
hmm,
ahead. Go ahead. Go
because
ahead.
because one of the videos that I watched, and she was talking about how Cardi needs layers and layers of makeup, and she doesn't need layer of makeup. And to me, when I saw Cardi, I mean, she doesn't look like she wear layers and layers of makeup, because Cardi's as natural could be right now. Because when you're in court, you try to look, presentative, and she don't have the long nails. Her nails is short and everything.
I
And I
was
don't see
wondering
layers.
about
Yeah, she don't have long nails at all. She's like regular size.
All right.
And
Well,
then her makeup, I mean, she do have like a little bit eye. She does that. She have the eye wing, her eyeliner, but it's not
right.
outrageous. It's not off color. It's natural color. It's not too much. And so, and Natasha, Latasha, she had, I mean, she looked very nice. She was very
Mhm.
well put. Her hair was nicely curled and everything. And so, I don't know. It's like a challenge type of thing. And I don't get it, but that's what I see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, you grew up here though, right? In the States? You grew
I
up here
grew
in the
up
States?
in New York.
You grew up in New York.
Mhm.
So I'm from Wisconsin. I still live here. I lived in Chicago. I've lived on the West Coast as well, but never East Coast yet. I haven't been out there. Um, I'm sure you saw this coming up though. And to my Caucasian listeners, this might not be something you might be able to identify with in this way. But there was always this kind of
Do you know
um
what? Me and my girlfriend was talking about that the other day,
yeah,
and we're like, wow, I promise you, in New York, we never dealt with like light skin, dark skin, that type of thing. Never, ever, ever. But since living in the South, it's like the main thing. Colorism is just like all over the place. You know what I mean? It was in New York. It was more the girls with the butt than the girls that don't have the butt type of thing. You know, the body. It was body, but it wasn't
Oh.
light skin, dark skin. It wasn't any of that.
Oh my goodness.
It was the
So
body.
come
It was like skinny, then the butt. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. It was more of the body type than it was your skin tone.
It wasn't the skin tone because most of the
Wow.
time I was getting the boys and I was darker and my girlfriends was light skinned and they weren't going. The boys wasn't talking to them. They were talking to me because I had the butt. You know, that's what it was.
Wow. Yeah, well, in most of the other parts of the country, it's a thing.
Yeah, I
It really,
heard.
it honestly is a thing. Even I lived in Chicago for about 14 years, and it was a thing in Chicago. And you know, you got judged whether or not you were light skinned, dark skinned. You got judged on whether or not you were going to college or you weren't going to college. You were judged on your speech pattern or all. I mean, there was
Oh,
a ton. In addition to, you know, speaking from a black girl with no butt, I didn't get blessed that way. So my Native American roots made this body a lot more than any African roots. I'll just put it that way. So, you know, there's some of us that just couldn't win for losing in anything, but it is definitely a thing.
Mhm.
So I find that interesting that you didn't have to deal with that in New York, which is amazing, but
But
it's a
remember,
thing.
New York is like the melting pot. Remember, that was where everybody, every nationality. It was more of this nationality against that nationality. Is Italian against black, or the Puerto Rican against, you know what I mean, that type of thing. But it wasn't the blacks. It was more unified with the blacks. You know,
Gotcha.
so you had
Gotcha.
other nationalities to fight with other than yourself.
Right. Well, listen,
You had the
goodness.
Italian coming after you. You know.
I I guess there were bigger fish to fry, bigger things to worry about.
Exactly, exactly.
So,
So
okay. So
it was a culture shock for me coming down here, and it's like I was like, "Oh
wow.
Lord, have mercy! These people are backwards." And not, and they used to hate me because I was from New York, and they say, "Oh, New Yorkers got they blah 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 blah." They said we
Right.
have bad attitudes.
Yeah. Yeah. Nasty attitude, definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that's the thing about, that's the riot on New Yorkers. But what we're seeing, to me as an outsider listening to and I've seen a lot of the videos um over the years. This has been an interesting situation for me. And in most of the videos that I've seen, the just visceral attack on Cardi once that first Star Marie interview aired and went completely viral. And you spoke about this today, that this came out today again in court, but there was charts actually showing
Yeah.
how viewership went like 341%, I think is what was quoted.
Yes. Yes.
And then at this point now we have potentially, allegedly, a young woman, and she even kind of said this herself, Tasha. So she's not necessarily young right now, but I mean, she's not old. I mean, I'm 53. They're
I'm
both kids.
55. They are kids.
They're both kids. So here you have this woman who struggling, right? Trying to make it on YouTube. All of a sudden, she hits the jackpot with,
Yes.
yeah, right, because she hit the jackpot with the first gossip about somebody cheating on somebody, Lil Wayne or somebody cheating on somebody, and then this comes.
Cardi B.
And now
Yes.
she's going to ride this gravy train. At what point do you think that this kind of clicked in her mind that this became personal? I mean, she even said that from the stand or from on the video. When do you think this became personal for her?
I think when Cardi started acknowledging her, and I don't. I think that's when Cardi acknowledged her and was coming back at her.
So you think that the acknowledgement, which is natural for someone to come back and say, "Hey, stop saying this stuff about me,"
Hmm.
you think that that then clicked, "I've now got this person's attention."
Hmm.
And do you think did it was it malicious at that point, do you think? Or do you think this was just a money grab at this
It was
point?
a money grab, and then it became malicious. It was a money
Mm.
grab. It was a money grab.
There's something to be said about people, uh they get so far into this they don't know how to get out. We talk about like also these like a narcissistic type
Hmm.
behavior where
Hmm.
you think you're above everything and you're
Hmm.
above the law.
Hmm.
And it felt like this is what was beginning to come out. The more the videos were played, the more that side of her, that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde came out
Hmm.
once, these videos. Um, do you think that she felt and maybe still feels that she's above this, that she's in the right?
She feels she's in the right. She feels she's in the right. And then she even said, see, the thing that got to me is like you said you knew it was a lie, right?
Uh-huh.
Then you said that she asked you not once, not twice, not three times, not four, several times she asked you. She even went to the point and say, we're women, we should be above this. What can I do to get you to stop? How can we resolve this? And she is, that's when it got to an obsession that I'm not going to stop. I don't care what you do. You're going to take me to court. And I believe the reason why she's going as far as court is so she can get some sort of notoriety. Because win or lose, people are going to see her and associate her with Cardi B, and then they're going to start looking for her.
And that was something that came out today. Even up until now, right? It's been a situation where she has every time Cardi would post a video of hers on her own channel or
Hmm.
something positive, then immediately the YouTube algorithm, which I'm sure this has been probably a great lesson for you on the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube algorithm then would publicize, would promote Tasha's negative videos.
Hmm.
Um, so you say this, you felt this became an obsession.
Yeah.
At what point does this cross over? I mean, this is a obsession, but this is like, I've got to destroy this woman. Like, at what point do you feel like it changed into like, I gotta
When she
destroy
saw she
her?
was getting to her, when she saw it was getting to her, when she saw the way Cardi B was reacting, the crying, and then like um, she saw that herself conquering this younger woman and the one that the world is worshiping. If I can get her and destroy her, then I could be the one. This is what I see it because it's like a
Wow.
big conqueror. If you're conquering her, that's the prize right there. Because remember Cardi was just voted the most popular, most the woman of the year type of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so now it's like if I can get her, then that means the world gonna look at me. Because remember, Cardi B has 120 million followers on her IG.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's a great accomplishment to be able to conquer that image.
yes, yes. So this that's interesting. You're using the word conquer.
Hmm.
That is so, because if I think back to the testimony as you have reported it back, that she mentioned not once but a few times the age disparity,
Yeah.
that and it was almost as if this older sister or this, this was like this bully. right? That was just
Definitely a bully.
like, you're
Definitely a
younger, I'm
bully.
gonna pick on you, I don't care, I'm gonna just you know what I'm saying? And just send you into a tizzy. But then the jealousy comes out in, I did this, she could afford it, who cares? She could afford therapy, who cares? How did the courtroom react?
Hmm. Well, let me just tell you this. Let me tell you, they were playing a video, and in the video, every other word was a cuss word, and it was harsh curse word. It was B's and MF and this blah, and there was an older because about I would say five other women are above 60, 50, 60,
Oh.
you know,
Oh.
retirees. And when they heard those languages, and there's one that's a principal, and they were like, let me tell you, there was one juror that was dismissed today, and I was explaining
Mhm.
the reason why she was dismissed because she made a comment to another juror about the video that she saw and that Tasha K's daughter was around, and she was using that type of language. She said there's no way she could be impartial to that, especially the way she has acted and behaved in front of her daughter.
My God, today.
And to
My God.
me being a woman of color and seeing that, and I was having problems with it because that was the first thing I mentioned. Because we went out for break, and I'm like, oh my God, she was talking like that, and her 12, 13-year-old child was right there. What example are you giving to your daughter if you could just like tear another woman down and don't care, and then you yell at your child, get out of here? No, I'm like, come on, where's the parenthood in that? And I'm not sitting there trying to judge her, but truth is truth.
Right. Right. No, this isn't judgment. So if anybody coming in here or anybody seeing this later, I don't want to see no nastiness in the comments. Miss me with it. Y'all know I don't care. I ain't trying to hit. Truth is truth. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. And as I say to some of my very close friends all the time, we as Black women cannot expect to grow, rise, and be fully respected in our own rights until we start calling a thing a thing.
That's right.
We can't sit here and keep just excusing behavior and have this expectation of, well, whatever, like I'm tired of hearing the excuses. The excuses that I'm hearing is, well, it was fine for Tasha to do that because Cardi is famous.
Hmm.
What? It's fine for Tasha to do this because, well, Cardi's not Black, and as you have let us know, she's Dominican and Trinidadian.
Trinidad, because Trinidad's Black.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's Afro Caribbean.
that's
Okay,
it.
for
That's
those that
it.
don't know,
That's
that's
it.
Afro Caribbean. Okay, so she might present light skin and have an accent that doesn't mean, and I don't know, Cardi might have 4C hair for all I know. I got
Because we
no
never seen
idea.
her hair. We don't know what her hair
We
look
have
like.
no
So.
idea, but she wears the same protective styles and wigs that we do. So who knows? But my point is that it's not okay. We can't keep excusing our poor behavior, and we can't keep excusing our toxic behavior as we put it onto others, and then expect for people to always, rush to have our back.
Mm-hmm,
Not that
mm-hmm.
she's an example of all, but I am embarrassed and I'm not even there. I can only imagine how you feel and how other African Americans feel, African American women, if there are any other ones other than the other juror in that room, but how that is just completely embarrassing
Yeah, yeah.
to
But
us.
there was a lot of workers that work at the federal building who are
Mhm.
African American that are there that comes in just to sit to watch it. And then there's also a lot of Caucasian, of course. daughters. That's the
Oh my God.
majority of the juries, and not just the jury, the whole makeup of the courtroom.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
So I want to get back to no, we talked about because I think that video you're talking about is the video where she's either in her bathroom or her closet or something, and she's
yeah,
on her secondary channel, her back channel, and she's just
yeah.
going off like a
And she
bottle
got a
rocket.
pair of shorts on, biking shorts. Yeah.
Tank top. Daughter comes home from school.
Yes, that's the. Well, her daughter's homeschool at the time. She said because she was COVID. You know.
Okay, then so she heard it from the very beginning.
Yeah, her daughter was in the room at the time, and she kept listening, and she came in at one point, and then she shooed her daughter out the room. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Um, what I almost lost my train of thought. So I want to go back to this. As these videos are getting played and these videos are getting played, did it seem like she got more and more emboldened on the stand in a way? The
Hmm.
more these videos and the more shocking the videos were to everyone listening.
Yeah. It got
Do you
it
think
got
that that's what happened?
yeah, she got a little bit more, and then she got combated a little bit, and she was justifying her actions. She was justifying that she had a right to do what she was doing, which is a narcissist um, type of attitude, you know.
Narcissist behavior. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, yes. So to me, this is like an almost a textbook narcissistic behavior on display.
Hmm.
Because what I'm hearing come back is consistent and constant gaslighting, 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 just changing, completely changing history, or
Hmm.
just saying, "You just don't understand. I'm, this extremely intelligent, very powerful person, and how dare you question me? And how dare you have any problem with what I do?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, when her husband got on the stand, uh, if you were in the courtroom for that, I found his answers interesting, and if we're gonna go by a thought process that this woman seems to be running everything, right?
Yeah. And that's not normal with the African because you're not married to an African. So,
So, which that type of relationship then or that kind of control is also signifies a woman that's dealing with narcissistic behavior. I don't want to put anything a diagnosis on anyone, so this is just an opinion.
mhm.
Um, but did it seem like this was a man that was just like, I'm just kind of here, and I'm gonna say what I need to say?
Mm, um, I see him as a silent giant. I see
Really?
him. Okay, the reason why I say that because he's the mastermind behind the company. She's the face, but he's a mastermind behind the company. Even though she's the one who makes the decision of what content to put out on the channel, but if he wanted to nip it in the bud, he would because he does have a lot to say in the relationship. But I think the money is what the driver of him allowing it to continue.
You're the first person I have heard say that you felt he did have some level of
I watched
control.
it. I watch it. I
That's
watch him. I
okay, tell me
watch him in the
more.
courtroom. I watch him in the courtroom because um he's like the supporting act, but you know who's in control. Because when she got up on the witness stand and when they were asking about the finance and stuff, because you know finance is where the control is. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Right, right, right.
So she didn't know anything. You have to ask my husband about that. You have to have my husband. My husband knows that part.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you don't think she was just saying that just to make it seem like, just to kind of
No,
deflect?
no. Because why? When they got ready to ask those questions, he knew the exactly detail of what was what.
My God, today. My God, today. We do have some more YouTubers, my some of my YouTube friends here. I want to just
Hey,
acknowledge. Hey, Armand. Hello, dear. How are you? Hello, AT2. Hello, Kaza. Hello, guys. Appreciate you guys being here so very much. I think we have Aisha TV in here as well. So thank you
hello.
guys very much for being here. So very much appreciate it. Um, okay, let me get this straight. So she couldn't answer any financial questions. He basically knows everything about what's going on with the money.
Mm-hmm.
She knows nothing about the money, so he's got her it if he's the real mastermind, who's the real narcissist here?
That's a
I
good
mean,
question.
maybe they both could be, but I'm just saying, like, this is
Because okay, let me. There was a question that the attorney asked. The attorney asked him that, do you think it's right for her to put out lies? And then he says, on the witness stand, he says that he doesn't think it's right. Right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Then the attorney says, but in your disposition, you thought there's not a problem with her putting in negativity because it's just rumors and gossip,
mm-hmm.
celebrity gossip. So he basically lied to us in front of our face.
Wow, wow, wow. So what you're saying is not only did she know, because she said repeatedly she knew they were lies. She said it in her deposition. She said it on the stand.
Mhm.
She said it in videos repeatedly over and over and over and over again. So anybody that's delusional enough out here in this land to think that somehow she didn't say it, y'all are just not. You're not paying attention, and you're living in your own la la land. So not only did she say that, he knew that too. He knows how much money is being made. So let me ask you this. I feel this is a little bit of a ruse then that they're trying to play, him saying, I have no control over whether or not she takes down those videos. Do you think if Mr. Kebby, is that, how do you, I want to pronounce their name correct, Kebby.
Kebby.
If
Mhm.
Mr. Kebby said, you need to take that down because you about to cost us everything.
And she would
That,
take it down in a second.
so,
So together, together, they're a team. They
wow.
try to play good guy, bad guy, but the reality is they're both bad guys. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but that's
Right,
the reality of it is because you're both benefiting from this.
right.
You're both, because according to what I saw, they're millionaires now.
Oh, yes.
They're millionaires.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
YouTube millionaires.
Uh-huh.
So and it happened within from 2016 to now. I think that's a great return, but it's on somebody else's back.
On somebody else's back
Yeah.
at the cost of somebody else's mental health, at the cost of potential, like it could have cost her whole entire marriage.
Mhm.
It could have cost her career. What if she had just, you know what I'm saying? Just, I can't take it and just bloop, that's it, dropped out. Or as she said today, it could have literally cost her life.
Yeah. She felt suicidal. She felt
Yeah.
suicidal, and then she had to go to therapy and things like that, which I didn't talk about that part because I wasn't there. All I'm doing is getting secondhand information, but it was she had come to the point. They said that her medical bills of therapy was like $5,000 at at a time. So
Wow. Um, and I don't know from your vantage point, could you see at all when she's testifying? Could you see at all the reaction of
from
the
who?
Kebbies?
Cardi? The Kevin?
No, when Cardi's testifying, yeah. Could you see the reaction at all? I mean, I don't know how were you in there for any of it? I'd be interested to find if anybody saw that at all. What their
Okay.
energy and reaction was to her breaking down.
One part, the part that really kind of like had me um, a little bit concerned in regard to whether or not these people have some bone of compassion is when the judge gave something that was like a little small win for them, and she was like giving her attorney high five.
The judge was doing what? A small
Gave
win?
gave him a small win, and like there was an objection about a video being entered into evidence, and um, the judge objected to it not being submitted and sustained for it to well sustain for it to be entered, and Tasha was happy, and she just like gave her attorney high five. I mean, it's like they overreact, and to me, it's like this is like um this is not a game. This is a person's life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you know what video that was they were talking about? Because I know yesterday there was a video, the video where she had come out and talked about what, and there's certain words I don't want to use here, but that she basically put men into an altered state and then would take their money rather than um, sleeping with them. Was there a separate? Do you know what video they were talking about that they were going to allow in
This is
today?
the video where she's talking about, well, she's in, I think she's in the bathroom with a head towel on her head. Cardi B's with a head towel on her head, and she's talking about what how she felt with Natasha, Latasha was saying stuff about
Oh.
her friend, and then she said if somebody talk about her daughter, she'll kill them, and that was that video. She's in the bathroom
Ah,
with a head towel on her head.
okay, gotcha,
That was the
gotcha.
video that they allowed in.
Uh, and did they play it while you were in the courtroom? Did they play that video, or are they gonna
Yeah,
play it the next? Mhm.
they played the video, but they didn't. The judge didn't allow them to play some parts of it. They
Oh,
played.
interesting.
Mhm.
And how did the jury react to that? Do you think?
They were just they were more reactive to Tasha's videos more than Cardi B's.
Yeah.
They were more reactive to Tasha because Cardi B says a couple of things, but hers was more like defending herself because these people was doing this, but Tasha was like, that type of thing.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Um, I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on this husband and this wife
They're a team.
narcissistic team.
They're a
This is
team.
crazy.
He's not. I'm telling you, he's not an angel behind it. He's the softer and the one that seems like he's the cool, collective, but you know how those things are. You know.
Oh.
I watched him. He's very protective over her, very protective, because every time she
Mhm.
went to the bathroom, he went out there and stood by the door to make sure nothing
Mhm.
happens to his wife. Not make sure.
Mhm.
But what I did not like is how she lied in the courtroom, saying that Cardi was balling her fist about doing like this, and she got up, and then Cardi. I'm gonna say my own word, but that wasn't the word they used. It was like, like somebody like that, like
Right. Like,
what's that
you
word they
can
use?
like, kind of instigate
Yeah,
or lunge or something, or lunging at or instigating or trying to intimidate her or something.
yeah, intimidate type of thing. But Cardi didn't
Girl,
do that.
bye.
We and the thing is, her lawyer came back to ask questions. She's like, Cardi, where were you sitting when the Tasha claims that you were um getting ready to intimidate her?
Jumper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she says I was sitting right here, and she says, what was going on? She says I was cold. I felt no, I got hot. And she's like, did you take? She says, yeah, had to take my jacket off. She's like, where was Miss Keeby? She said she was up there on the witness stand. So how's she gonna intimidate you? You way over there. She's way over there. You sitting back here. And how was that? And we're all in the courtroom. We're all in the courtroom. I was like, what is this? We're all in the courtroom. We're like, what?
But this is what narcissists do. They have to bend. First of all, everything is about them. Everything is about them when it ain't. It's always personal. It's always an attack. They're always the victim. They're always the underdog. And then when you don't buy into the initial, oh my God, they came and hurt my feelings, then they're going to say, then they're going to gaslight and they're going to tell a revisionist history. They're going to switch it all up to try to make it seem like this other person is the aggressor and they did absolutely nothing. They were just over here just, oh my goodness, right? I, I cannot. I can't believe this. I guess I can, but I can't. I did not anticipate uh the absolute the
Hold on,
word
guys.
that is
He
coming to
came
mind
back
is
out. Hold
hubris.
on. Hold on. He
Yep.
came back out.
Okay, we're gonna let her come back. Thanks guys for being here. I'm sorry I haven't been putting everybody's chat up here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm gonna take some. Okay, she's back. We're gonna start. I'm just gonna start going through some of the comments and showing them. I probably missed a lot, so I appreciate you guys being here. Again, if you just joined us or just joined us recently, I do have infamous Sylvia on with me. She is a YouTube blogger. She has followed the R. Kelly case as well, not just in New York but in Chicago. Been all over the country for that, and she is in the courtroom every day during the Cardi B Tasha K federal defamation lawsuit. And so we so very much appreciate her being willing to come on very short notice onto the channel. So where were we? So this is what they do, right? They try to make this all up so that it appears that they're always in the wrong. There can never be a moment where they're not the victim, because it doesn't fit their worldview. I guess I didn't expect that there would be such what they say is hubris or pride that she would actually admit it in a deposition and admit it on the stand.
They had several depositions. I think they have 3 altogether.
They had 3 altogether.
Yeah.
Did she have 3 altogether? Go ahead. Sorry.
I think it was November 30th, November 18th, and November. It was another date in there, 25th, something like that.
Okay.
I think it was like, I got to go back in my notes and see how many. It's more than one. It's more than one.
Yeah. I saw them listed. I didn't act soon enough to be able to get the transcripts from those depositions. I can't wait for these transcripts to come out. Although I will tell you guys, please go to her YouTube channel because you basically are getting a transcript complete with exhibit numbers, of which I think you said there are 1,300 exhibits.
1,300, yes.
from
Yes.
Cardi's side.
From Cardi sides, and they were actual like tweets and Instagram posting videos, tons of videos. I'm like, oh my, where was I? I haven't seen any of this. I think I was living under a rock at the time. I don't know.
You're not on these YouTube streets and these IG corners, as I
Mm-mm.
say. I ain't come up. I think they're Twitter alleys at this point. But as I dibble and dabble over there every now and again. Well, probably a little more than I should. But I know what's kind of happening. So I've known about this whole situation for a very long time.
Mhm.
And interestingly enough, I actually started watching Tasha K as a result of that Star Marie Jones interview and then the massive kerfuffle over it because there was a whole lot going. I'm not going to go into that today, guys, but
She
there
got
was a
5 million
massive
views from that. 5 million. It's a lot.
yes, yes. But there was a big hoopla because there was another YouTuber that was supposed to have the woman on her channel.
Hmm.
Tasha ends up scooping in and getting her on her channel, and her channel explodes as a result of the lies that Star Marie said. And then there was all this. I mean, it is not just that interview, and then not just her claiming that she, has these STDs and things of that nature,
Hmm.
but the beefing with other YouTubers, the trying to tear other YouTubers down when they wouldn't go along with the continuous assault on this woman's character, and this continuous assault on Cardi, and as she was taking people down because of that, or just like trying to end people, this is it literally has become a multi-million-dollar industry of her own creation,
Wow.
of her own doing, and being this person right now.
Wow.
Um, so
I remember one time, my first interaction with her was, I think I was playing something of hers, and she came
mhm.
into my channel and told me, "Take it off, or she's gonna come and get me." I was like, "Okay."
Oh my.
I said, "Okay." And then in
Oh
court, she's gonna
my.
act like she didn't know who I was. I'm like, this lady was just in my chat telling me don't play her stuff, and then now she's gonna act like she don't know me. She's like, um, "Are you a reporter?" I said, "No, I'm just taking notes." But let me tell you something. Her people was in my channel yesterday, and she went back into her channel, and I saw the note. And then today, when at court, she didn't say not one word. She just looked at me, kept walking. I said, "Okay." She knew who I was from the beginning. She was playing
Yes, she did.
games. Yeah.
But again, that's another narcissistic sign, right? What they'll try to do is they'll smear you, and then and try to get you, but then when they try to get you on their side, they're going to try to love bomb you. But then if they can't get you on their side, or you don't take the bait and actually want to have an interaction with
Hmm.
them, then what they'll do is they'll do what she did then now and just act like, well, you're beneath me. I
Yeah.
don't know you,
Yeah.
right? And as if that's going to affect your life in some way. For them, it would, because anytime you get discarded, they get discarded. It's the end of the world.
Hmm.
Um, but anytime you give them life, even negative energy. So I want to kind of circle back around to what we were talking about a lot earlier when when I asked you, where do you think this turned into this obsession, or this became personal? Um, and you said you felt it was strongly about the money at first because Cardi interacted with her.
Hmm.
That to me, if anybody's listening, is the number one thing you want to remember, is that a someone with narcissistic tendencies will they will take any energy they can get from you and run with it.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter if it's positive
Hmm.
or if it's negative, so anger, or if but they really thrive on sadness.
Wow. Wow. On sadness.
on sadness, because then they have then exercised the greatest power they can over you.
Wow.
I mean, just think about it. Anybody that has, like, when you're heartbroken, right? And some of us, when we're younger, hopefully when we're older, we don't do this. But we got to have closure, and we got to go back, and you know what I'm saying? We got to do all these things. The more that you give your sadness and your that away, right? The longer it takes for you to gain closure in your relationship. You're giving your power to this other person, and a narcissist will realize that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They'll take any energy because they're void of they're void of emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she's not unable. Now, this is all allegedly, this is my opinion. This is why she's not able to show emotion or compassion. There
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
none.
Yeah.
There is none.
Wow. Wow.
So she'll feed off of this. And she's been
Mm.
feeding off of this for 4 years.
Wow.
For 4 years. And I'm sure that's why I was wondering if you were able to see her reaction. I would love to find out what her energy was like when Cardi was breaking down on the stand. Not that I want I feel horrible for her, right?
Mm.
But I'd be very interested to see what her reaction was. My
See, I didn't
guess
get a
is,
chance to see that.
yeah, yeah. Maybe, if you get a chance to ask, one of the
Yeah,
fellers,
that's okay.
Choke probably would be a person that would be very kind of in tune with that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Dennis too, I don't know. But I
Yeah.
imagine it was kind of like, mhm. That was feeding her at that moment.
Yeah.
That's so sad. Keza,
Wow.
we can't watch someone's asking how can we watch
The
the
trial.
live court case. It's not being televised. So the only way we get to find out what's happened on a day-to-day basis is by people like our beautiful sister here, infamous Sylvia.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Choke No Joke. He is also on YouTube as well. And you can find him. I think he's got an Instagram maybe, but I don't know. And then Dennis Byron, who is primarily on Instagram and Twitter, but he does have a
YouTube.
YouTube channel. I
And his
think
is
he's the
Hip Hop
only,
Inquirer. Hip Hop
yes,
Inquirer. Yeah.
hip hop inquirer.
And it's only four of us in the courtroom. So if you hear anybody else saying they're not there, I promise you.
Yes, and that's why we were sure today, to shout out people that and give credit where credit is due, because you guys are there, and we wouldn't know anything until
Mhm.
the transcripts came out, unless you all were there. So we do very much appreciate all that you guys are doing. I know it's getting late for you on the East Coast here. Do you guys, is there court tomorrow, or are they taking tomorrow off?
No, they're taking tomorrow and Monday off. So they'll go back on Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Oh, for Martin Luther King Day, right?
Yes,
Monday?
yes, yes, yes.
I
So they
I'm
anticipated
self-employed, so I don't know.
they anticipate that the trial should be over by next week. That's what the anticipation is. But they're not too sure yet. It depends. Cardi B's side has one more witness. Then the Tasha case side said that they'll have 2 to 3 days worth of testimony. So
What testimony can they put? I'm trying to understand, what can they say now
they
at
have
this?
videos. They said they got videos. It's probably videos of Cardi.
Okay. What? Uh,
But you know what? Tasha, they're called winos, right? The wino,
yeah.
the wino side. Because I remember when somebody came into my chat, they were saying to me that it was both of them fighting back and forth. So I don't know because I really don't know the logistic about everything because you're telling me more than what I know. Um, but from the videos I've seen, it was more someone retaliating, protecting themselves based on something somebody else did. So Tasha K came with the attacks, and Cardi B, because I heard that she contacted her several times. She asked her to basically stop. Then the next time she asked her to stop again. Then she got her attorney to ask her to stop. She refused. She asked the attorney a second time again. The attorney sent a letter. A third time, even when the lawsuit came about, she even inboxed her and said to her, "We're women, we're mothers. Let's come to some sort of agreement. What would you like? What can we do for this to stop?"
Yes,
So,
that all happened. And Tasha had to admit to that. And in the deposition, she admitted to another,
yeah,
and she would come on and very proudly, see, again, here we go back to narcissism on display. She'd very proudly say, she sent me this cease and desist. I'm gonna wipe my bleep with it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or she sent me this. I'm gonna keep saying it. And that was her energy, and that's what she would say. I'm gonna keep doing it because she was getting energy back. That's
From
what I
person,
mean by it. Don't matter what kind of energy. A narcissist is just an energetic vampire. They're going to keep feeding as long as you keep putting your neck out. They're gonna keep
so
feeding.
my question to you on that is, so the best thing to do is basically ignore her. Is that how you
Yes.
put it? Okay.
Yes, so if you're in a kerfuffle, if you're in a scrap or whatever with a narcissist,
I got one
the
right
best.
now. I got one
Oh,
right now, and this.
well, you in the right place then. Let me tell you. The best thing to do is what we call gray rocking, which means you give them no energy. If you don't have any kids, any property, anything else that you really have to discuss with this person, the
Nothing,
best thing you can do is to just not give them any energy at all.
and totally ignore them. Okay.
Just ignore them. And what I used to do, because I was married to one, my second husband was one. He was what we call a somatic narcissist. We broke up after a 4-month marriage because I came
Four
home
months.
from,
Wow,
well, he had been
that's
with me
short.
for a year,
Oh,
conned me into marrying him, and then 4 months into the marriage, well, maybe I'll give him a couple more extras. We got
okay.
married in September, 6 months, so he gets an extra two. But I came home from work one day and found him on the couch, butt naked, with his girlfriend, one of his 5 girlfriends, on my couch in my house. Well, it
Wow.
was his couch, my house. So
Somebody has
anyway,
a question. I wanted to see
yeah,
that
we're gonna
one.
get there. So yes, gray rock him. Just don't give him any energy, dear.
Okay.
Okay, were the other YouTubers ever brought up? Sean Davy, Armand, Lovely T.
Yes, they were. I have where's my notes at? And I was going to tell you exactly who was brought up. I know Larry Reed
Le-
Live was brought up. I
Yep.
know. I'm thinking from my head. Lovely T was brought up. It was another person. Casey. Is there somebody named Casey?
No, you were talking about he's Instagrammer Kyle from the Neighborhood Talk was brought up.
Okay. Yes. Neighborhood Talk. There
Um,
was one more because I wrote it down in my note. I just don't have my notes here
so
downstairs.
Lovely T. Da, da, da. There was one. I have notes that I took from your notes. So hang on.
Okay.
Let me look at your notes.
Okay.
Let me look at your notes because you gave very good ones. She was on. They talked about a live with on Instagram with Smoke and Reason and Wiley.
Okay. That was the other one.
Um, we have heard, and I don't know if this is true, that a clip of Armand's was played. Now maybe that was today.
It
I
might have
don't
been today
know.
because I remember today I'm not too like I don't know. Today I was a slacker today because I had my other case that I was doing and I had a conference call.
Yeah, I know, but
But
that's not
Lovely
being a
T,
slacker.
Lovey T, I definitely, she came up a couple of times because they did her audio.
Right. Now, was that you know what? I'm wondering now. I want to ask you. I don't know if you'll know. Did they play this audio? Did they say, was it the audio they got from her? Was this, because there was a YouTube video that was played that was done at one point at the height of this, where I think it was Tasha that recorded this phone call and then played it on YouTube. Did they
Yeah,
kind of
that's
tell
the
you
one.
where this came from?
That
Okay.
was the one. That was, and it was an hour long or something like that. It was pretty
Yes.
long. That was the one. But they took like clippings from it. They didn't separate it. They just took the whole video and they just went to the marker that they wanted at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And for those of you who do not know what I'm talking about, I'm now realizing I know way more than I probably should. But anyway, there was, oh God, I think it was 2018, maybe 2019 now. It's hard because we lost a whole 2 years. Um, I think it was maybe 2019 when all of this really blew up with between Lovely T and Tasha. There was on a third party's channel. Tasha played recorded conversation between her and Lovely, a few recorded conversations that were pieced together, where there was some discussion about knowing that Star Marie was lying or that potentially had mental health issues,
Mm-hmm.
and that Tasha was going to play. They were going to play good cop, bad cop. I don't know which one should be.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to break the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And so was that discussion when there was some YouTubers that were trying to broker a peace. So that's where that came from. If you guys do you guys have any other quick questions? I'm sorry. I know I've been ignoring this chat. This has been a very good conversation. So I do appreciate you guys.
There was someone asked something about did Cardi B testify today? Yes, she did.
Oh, and I think they were asking, did she get cross-examined? Did they start cross-examining her?
Yes, they did. They cross-examined Tammy. I mean, Cardi. They didn't cross-examine Tasha K because they wanted to wait when the end when they bring Tasha K to the stand.
Okay, so I was wondering why they didn't. So the defense is going to bring Tasha up on their own as their own
Mm-hmm.
witness.
Because let me tell you why the judge decided to do that. Not the judge, but they decided to do that is because the judge told them that if they asked a particular question, they could not come back and ask and rebut on that question again. So you want to get one time to do this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. So they have. Do you know who Cardi's last witness is? Who's the last witness for the plaintiff?
Oh, is they not? They didn't finish the last one yet. They didn't get the last one.
I'm saying, did they announce it? Or do you
Um,
know? Do you have any idea?
I don't know, but they said it might be the doctor. I'm not too sure. I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know.
I'm gonna see if I can find a witness list on online. If I find it, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Um, and then they have 3 days. That's gonna be interesting. Keza says interesting how TK wore all white. Yesterday, I
Ha!
think.
No, 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 no. That was the first day. She
Okay.
wore white twice. She wore it the first day and the second day. First day was a pale white one with a split on the side, and next one was a bell bottom white.
Okay.
And then she wore mustard yellow the third day.
She wanted to wear a power color the third day.
Mustard yellow.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yes, Melba was talking about how her neighbor had to block her narcissistic mother. Yeah, it's not easy dealing with a narcissist, but the easiest way I have found is just ignore him.
Yeah, she tried to bring Dennis involved in it.
Oh, do tell. Come on now, tell me, tell me. Give me the tea. Give me the
Well,
tea.
what had happened, right? When they first got into their because they had the pre-trial not hearing, but just before
The
they started
conference.
the
Uh-huh.
conference. Yeah. Well, they wanted to bring in Byron Cage, Lord have mercy, by Dennis Byron because remember, Dennis they Tasha claims that Dennis Byron was hired by Cardi B to harass him. That's what Tasha K claims. But
Mm-hmm.
what happened is that uh, because Dennis helped find um, Tasha K because they were trying to serve her,
Mm-hmm.
and she was avoiding the serve her being served, and
Her being
so
served. Yep.
she was saying that in the court that he followed her all over the states, different states, and putting
Mm-hmm.
up order protection on her. That's what her lawyer was saying that Byron Dennis did. Dennis Byron.
So wait, let me see if I get this straight. She was trying to say that
Mhm.
Cardi had hired Dennis
Mhm.
to harass her,
Mhm.
and not that he was doing what he was doing, which was following the case and following what was going on back
Mhm.
then, because she was trying to evade service.
Service. Yes.
So what? So this came up during the pretrial conference.
Yes. Yes. And what happened is when Byron walked in, I said, Byron, they're talking about you.
They talk about you, man.
They're talking about you. He was like, what did they say? I said, well, I wasn't paying attention at first until I heard your name.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-mm.
um so what was the end result of that?
The judge told them they could not bring it in. If they brought it in, that basically Tasha would be responsible for what her attorney do. So
That Tasha will be responsible for her.
what
What
her
the heck did
attorney
that
does,
mean?
meaning that if the attorney violates something that he already told him not to do, that would go against Tasha.
So basically, so she's like, he was like, you responsible for whatever your peoples do.
Yeah, exactly.
My.
But see, I believe the judge seems very, very fair. He's not on anybody's side because he'll reprimand both sides. He don't care because he even reprimanded the Cardi B's attorneys today when they was trying to object to some video coming in, and the judge asked her, "Did you see the videos already?" And she's like, "Yeah." She says, "Well, then why are you objecting to it?" He says, "Okay, you need to stop. Don't do that because what you're doing is use a tactic trying to, like, ice the defense from throw them off their
Mm.
game." So
So he is being fair for those people that want to try to say the judge is, if anyone, I haven't heard this, but I'm just saying, if anybody wants to try to say that the judge is not being impartial, he is being impartial.
he even got on Cardi just like he got on Tasha because Tasha was, instead of answering yes or no, she was elaborating on the answer. He's like, no, the question was a yes or no question. And Cardi did the
God,
same thing, so he got on her too.
okay. All
But
right.
Tasha was doing it way more.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing from all of you, the general consensus is it was 3 times
Absolutely.
at that one day that he had to say something
Yep.
to her, and he was not very pleased.
Yep.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yep.
Well, sis, I'm not going to keep you. You've had a long day, and you have indulged us so
Yes.
much. I so very, very much appreciate your time. Do you want to give us your? I have your channel information.
It's
Oh, what
infamous to do.
nationality is the judge? He is Caucasian.
Caucasian. He's a homegrown Georgia boy from UGA. Yes, homegrown, homegrown.
He is not gonna be for that foolishness.
No, no,
He's not
he
for the
nip it in the
foolishness.
bud, huh? And you remember, he still has his southern ways. So a Yankee coming down there, oh, so they better stay in the cooling. So he doesn't. He doesn't have favoritism. That's all there is, because he get on all of them.
Well, that's good though. I mean, that's good that he's not showing favoritism because we don't want anybody to be able to come back and try to reverse this decision because the judge was showing favoritism, which I thought was good for him to excuse that juror.
Sure, yeah. And I explained everything that happened with that too.
So that was really good. Miss Sylvia, can you give us not only I forgot your channel pinned, but can you I'm going to put your Cash App here in the comments and so that I can then put them down in the description in case anyone wants to donate to you so that because you're doing this and we want to help support you. So what is your Cash App so I can put that in here?
It's $ T as in Tom, U as an umbrella, M as in Mary, U as in umbrella, S as in Sam, I as in India, I as in India, M as in Mary, E as in Edward. Tumusimi. Like, do you see me? Tumusimi.
Oh, very good. Very good. Very good. So that is her Cash App. We put this in the description. We put this in the chat. I will put it in the description box below, along with her YouTube channel link as well.
And my
Please
IG is the
support
same
her.
as Infamous Sylvia.
Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me. I did not know you were on Instagram as well.
Yeah, I'm an IG. And I have a Twitter. My Twitter is Dr. Momo.
Okay.
DRMOEMOE.
Okay.
Dr. Momo.
Yeah, okay. And then I'll put that down. I'll put all of her social media links in the description as soon as we get done here. And please go to her channel and donate. And please go check her out. Subscribe, hit that bell to make sure that you know when she's going live and that you can keep up to date as well.
Yes,
Miss
yes,
Sylvia,
yes.
I hope you will be willing to come back for us to have some
Absolutely.
further.
Absolutely. I'll be back to give you more update on what's going on. I'll be
Absolutely.
more observant too, so I'll look.
We'll get some more updates at some appropriate time next week. And then I'm sure we'll all be on pins and needles. I wish I could just fly on down there and be right with you because I really want to be there when this verdict come in.
Oh my God. I can't wait. I will be on pins and needles. I bet you the whole crowd, the courtroom is going to be crowded then, I bet.
Well, yeah, of course. Then they ain't gonna,
Mhm.
you might see me that day. You never know. I be done popped up, but they say, "Oh, the jury's going off for deliberation. Let me hurry up get on the next thing smoking because it ain't gonna take them long."
Your cat wants some loving over there.
Yes, that's Gemini. Those that
Gemini.
are on my channel a lot know Gemini makes her appearances, and she has decided it's time for mom to get off of these here YouTubes and pay attention to her. Well, again, Miss Sylvia, thank you so, so very much. I so appreciate you being
Oh, you're
here.
welcome. You're welcome.
And we're going to be over there supporting you as much as we can as well. And I can't wait to have you back on so we can get a little bit more perspective
Yes.
on
Now you
everything.
have me now. I'm gonna really think and watch. I'm like, okay. So I'll be ready for the answers.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. Thank you so much, dear. We're going to
All right,
close
you're
it on
welcome.
out, and I'm going to see you in a little while. And everybody else,
All right, have a
thanks
good
again for
one.
being here. Thank you. Any last words you want to leave with us before you go?
Just I'm just I'm excited to be here to be able to share with you guys exactly some of my experience. All I can do is give you my experience of what's going on over there. I'm telling that same bug is still alive. but thank you so much for inviting me, and I definitely will be back. Definitely.
You are so welcome.
All
You're
right.
so welcome. All right, gang, we're gonna roll it on out. Let me put this music back on here. All right, gang. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys so much. Namaste. Bye, guys.